What's going on, guys? Welcome to today's video, and in this video we're going to be talking about GTA Online, possibly a new show that's going to be in my channel, which is this. The name will be underneath this video at the top, or wherever the bloody hell YouTube decide to put it after, but this is a trials show. It's not 100% that I'm going to be keeping this yet, so your likes and dislikes do matter. If you think I should change anything in this show, make sure to leave it in the comments as well, so I can improve it for the next one, if there is a next one. Anyway, so getting straight to the first topic of today, it's the whole part of GTA Online possibly expanding. It's supposed to be expanding after release. There's going to be constant missions added. Users can create their own missions with the mission editor and so on. And limiting people to one city wouldn't be ideal, especially this is supposed to be the GTA universe. They even spoke about this a while ago, if you remember. They're saying they wanted to make a big MMO where they could visit the whole GTA world. They actually said that a while ago, and I just thought that at the top of my head. What's going on? My brain's working today. It's a miracle. They said that they have some old assets to work with in a CVG interview with Leslie Benzies, so all I can assume straight away from that is the fact that they're probably going to use GTA 4's map and add that in as a map in about a year or two down the line, when people have actually, done most of what they can do in this current map. It will be a way to get users to carry on playing, introduce them to new characters, new homies, or whatever you want. It's a constantly expanding universe, and there'll be different mission types because it's a completely different type of city. Whereas this city is a mix of desert, mountains, pretty much everything. That city is mainly just city. It's not anything low down, so there'll be bigger heists that you can do and so on, which we'll get into a bit later anyway. The whole people considering that Vice City might come from the older generation, the old San Andreas, the old Liberty City, I don't think that's going to happen. Now, I only think the GTA 4 Liberty City is going to be ported and added stuff on. Obviously, it's not going to be a cakewalk for Rockstar to do that, but I expect GTA 6 to be Vice City based. Now, that's just coming off the top of my head. They might do something completely different, but it will be a heavily modified version of Vice City. It looks like it's going to be that. So possibly then they will release it for GTA Online at the same time, so you can either go on GTA 6 and launch it off that, and you could go fly back to the old one if you have the other disc or something. Maybe it'll be a small microtransaction on GTA 5, so you go on GTA 5, go on GTA Online. If you're on the PlayStation 4, it's rumoured, it's not rumoured to be coming to it, but we're all hoping it's coming to the PS4 and Xbox One and PC, but with those coming very soon, it makes sense for Rockstar to port that. But my point is, maybe it's your account that you buy them on, that you unlock them on. So once it detects that you're playing GTA 5 and you've got the Los Santos map, it locks it to your account and says they've played this, they've played the Vice City map as well, and it works on every platform you go on to play GTA Online. Anyway, so I hope that's how it's going to work. Maybe there's going to be microtransactions if you don't want to buy GTA 6 and you just want to buy the Vice City map. And I'll go into a bit more detail on how I think transactions and so on are going to work in the future as well. So, according to this website, a new magazine has been given some more details on GTA Online, possibly GTA 5 as well, but these are mainly GTA Online things. Now, I know these aren't really crazy and impossible to imagine, but I have to say, just in case, that these are possibly not real. They could be fake, made up. They might turn out to be correct. They could be fake. It's still a possibility that they're not 100% accurate, but they seem accurate to me personally. So here we go. Let's go with the first one. Character menu while playing enables little customizations. So you'll pretty much be able to pull up a little menu and add on a mask. I'm guessing something, maybe pull out a different weapon rather than, so say you've got an M4 out, you can switch that to an AK. Maybe it's like an inventory pretty much kind of thing, which would make sense, and it's a lot quicker than returning home, picking up your stuff, and then robbing a bank. It's just a way to stop you having to travel halfway across the map if you decide to rob a bank on the other side of the map. Wouldn't be too ideal, would it? So the next one is you can own only one property at a time. You can move, but you'll have to have enough money to do so. So that's, to me, is good and a bit at the same time. Obviously, it's understandable you can only have one house. I mean, if you had all the houses, it would be too easy for someone to break into all your houses, and you'd have to defend them all at the same time and so on. And that's cool with me because of that. And that also disappoints me because that means the maximum amount of cars you can have in a garage, in a house, is 10. That's the limit at the minute. They could expand that. I don't really see myself wanting more than 10 cars anyway. And I mean, it just doesn't make that much sense to have more than 10 cars. I probably have like 3 and run out of which cars to get. But it's still a bit, yeah. I hope when you go to buy a new house, you can pretty much trade in your current house, if you get what I mean. Not literally trade it in, but put it up for the market and sell, and then use that money towards the other house. I mean, basically an easy transition to do that, so you don't have to literally drive all your cars across yourself and so on. Hopefully all your things move to your new house pretty quickly. Otherwise, it's going to be a bit of a pain to move house, isn't it? So I'm guessing that's how it's going to work. There'll be like an upgrade menu where you can upgrade to a new house, where you want to move house when you've got more money, which will be pretty awesome. So you can customize your home with expensive wood, fancy accessories, big TVs and more. Now, I could go on and just speculate loads about this. I really could. But I'm glad they've actually added customizations in the house. You know, it is a big job for a Rockstar to do. It is a big job for anyone to do. But to me, it adds in that much more personalization into the game, which I really love. If you watch my Need for Speed videos, personalization is great. I mean, I don't want to go into my friend's house and have exactly the same house as him when we're both at the top. You know, we all have different tastes. I might like a wooden floor, so I might like a carpeted floor. And it is rewarding to add something like this in, rather than, you know, just putting in one preset for everyone, which I would be happy with that still, but I'm a lot happier with the fact that you can customize your apartment or whatever. So you can add in bigger TVs and so on, which is, I'm guessing it's going to be like similar to Saints Row 2's customization. I said Saints Row 2 specifically because the newer ones, I can't quite remember how they really work, but maybe it'll be something like that. Maybe in the future, take this with a major grain of salt, because this is my speculation going on here. Maybe in the future, it'll be quite funny. You'll be able to break into a friend's house and steal their TVs. You know, Rockstar said that it's a constantly evolving universe that they want to constantly add content to. So it would make total sense to add, you know, suggest these things now. So I could go into my friend's house and steal his car. I could go into some randomer's house and steal his TV. I could, I don't know, steal his stripper pole. You know, so, well, I'm not saying there's a stripper pole in it, but, you know, it's constantly going to add stuff in. And I'm really liking this. It reminds me a lot of PlayStation Home as such, but a lot better. You know, maybe they'll have microtransactions where you can add things into your apartment. Maybe they'll add microtransactions where you can buy cars that you can't see driving on the road. You know, maybe just things like that. Rather than making you pay a major subscription in the future, they would possibly do microtransactions such as buying stripper poles, new clothes, you know, premium items that aren't a necessity. Is that right? They're not necessary to own, but it's still nice to have. You know, it's not needed though. Okay, so you can install a tracking device to your car. So if someone steals your car, you can see them driving around town on the minimap. As far as I'm aware, that's how it works, which is good. I was a bit 50-50. I'm wondering what was going on about the whole stealing cars thing, but I'm hoping this article is true, and it pretty much is possible for someone to steal my car. Because if no one's able to steal my car, to me, it seems a bit weird. And I'm guessing there's a passive mode on GTA Online where you can use, where players can't kill you and so on. So I'm guessing that means on passive mode they can't steal your car, but on the non-passive mode, pretty much, they can steal your car, which would be fine with me, because if I have to hunt them down to get my car back, it would make good gameplay. You know, if I don't get my car back, it's gone, or I have to pay insurance and get it back. You know, I would like that. It's pretty cool. Okay, so convertible car rooftops are in still, so they are in single players. We know from the first blooming trailer. I wasn't 100% if it was going to be in multiplayer, but it is definitely in multiplayer. I mean, they said everything in GTA 5 is in GTA Online, so having the convertible roofs is good. I hope they add some kind of penalty if it starts to rain, when the roof is, you know, down or something. I can't really think of what kind of penalty you would make it. Maybe your car just becomes full of water and you drown, you know, it's something stupid. Not like that though. You know, I hope there is a penalty, or it automatically goes up when it's raining or something just like that. You know, I like that you can bring it down. I hope it adds a gameplay I can't speak. Gameplay feature into it, in where, as you saw in the trailer, on the multiplayer trailer, they said there were pretty much unscripted activities that you could do. So on that, they were driving bikes off a mountain and opened their parachutes to fly down the mountain. Hopefully that's possible in cars when their roofs are down, something like that. If the roof isn't down, they can't do that. You know, just something small like that. Rockstar probably even thought of that themselves, and that would be pretty cool. So you can start a quick race by placing the finish marker on the map and just race. So I'm guessing that's when you could, say, pull up next to someone and be like, right, we're going to race. So you accept a race with them and you set the finish point and you just go. That is good. You know, it reminds me a lot of Burnout Paradise style races. I know it sounds a bit cheesy, but the thing on some Burnout Paradise races, I can't remember the specific name of the type of event, but the finish is where you need to get, and it doesn't matter which route you take. That's the kind of race I'm guessing it's going to be, which I like. I mean, if you know the city, you've got an advantage. If you don't know the city, you might have to learn a bit before you actually try and race me. But yes, that's good. It stops me having to plan out a whole track before we do a quick race. Hence the name, quick race. Okay, so here it gets a bit weird in the English department, but very good handling of the car, real racing feel. So I noticed that in the trailer, everyone noticed, they said they've worked a lot on the mechanics. This was in the single player trailer. They worked a lot on the mechanics to make them pretty much perfect in every department for everything. So they've worked on shooting, driving, diving, swimming, you know, everything. And driving is a major focus in GTA because it's Grand Theft Auto. You're stealing cars, you're using cars to get around everywhere. And GTA is possibly the only good driving in an open world game, like top-notch driving in GTA 4. Some people may disagree with me. GTA 4's driving, personally though, it was fantastic once you mastered it. The way you could just swerve your car around anywhere and be able to manage control while I could shoot out the window and concentrate on driving at the same time. There's just something right about it. Now, if you watch my breakdown of the multiplayer trailer the other day, you'll notice that I said the cars feel a bit heavier. The Viego seemed to bounce with the road and sound really bulky, and it didn't turn as much as it would in the older GTA. So I'm hoping that's how it is, because it adds a more realistic to it, but I hope the swervy, jumpy, floaty car feel is still there, just not as much, and hopefully it means I don't have to have a massive learning curve from playing GTA 4. There is lap racing and classic GTA races with guns, rally racing and more. So many different types of races we knew. Rally racing will be really fun because they didn't really do much of that on GTA 4 because there was pretty much only like a mile or two of off-road terrain in where I could drive around and mess about in off-road cars. But the feeling of the cars changed completely off-road, so I'm hoping they'll do that again, and we'll have to wait and see on that. But can't beat good old track racing. Track racing, me, fit together hand in hand. Can't wait for that. GTA races are pretty cool. I love the you know, it just puts a big spin on it, and the fact that you could pretty much lose your car by being a cocky piece of something. So you can also improve your gun skills, stamina and such. Now I'm a bit disappointed that they said gun skills, stamina and such, because that means we can't really speculate too much, because it might be a bit, oh, you said this and it's not true. Ooh. So when I exaggerate which ones there are, remember that the only ones listed currently are gun skill and stamina. So gun skill, brilliant, love that, because that means everyone will have to, you know, they'll all have our favourite guns, and we'll rank up what, you know, be able to, maybe the ranks are used to be able to use new equipment attachments on the weapon. So say I'm really good with the M4, I can eventually get a scope, red dot sight, extended mag, you know, just pretty much everything to do with that, but progression over time. It would give me a reason to actually use other guns, which I don't normally do. I normally just stick to guns that I prefer, exactly the same as I do with cars. But if there is progression for every single gun, there is a possibility that I will mess about with all the guns to make sure I have the best of everything. And obviously, once again, it's a constantly expanding world. There is no limit to what Rockstar can add in. They could add in a new gun, they could add in new equipment for attachments for the guns. That's what I'm loving about this game. You know, you can just personalize everything, and this is what we want from a Need for Speed game, for example. This is beating Need for Speed in personalization, and it's not even a racing game. And that is depressing. But seriously, you know, customization, upgrading the performance of your car is possible, and putting roll cages on your car is possible. It's like, what? It's incredible that Rockstar have managed to fit all this onto last gen hardware pretty much now, because the Wii U is supposed to be next gen. But anyway, so stamina is also increasable. So stamina, running, swimming. I'm guessing running for further distances, like on San Andreas, maybe going to the gym. I don't know if there's gyms on it, but I'm guessing there will be if there isn't, because Rockstar wants to add in and constantly expand. And it would make sense to add treadmills in or something, maybe boxed with your friends at the gym. You know, that would be pretty cool, increasing stamina. Now, I'm going to try and think off the top of my head very quickly of some other stats that we might possibly get. So in the single player, we have many skills such as the driving skill and pretty much overall shooting skill. A few other skills, so I'm guessing maybe some of the single player ones will carry over, but I don't think there will be a special in multiplayer, because personally I think that gives players an unfair advantage, an unrealistic and unfair advantage. And I don't mean to say that because GTA is supposed to be unrealistic as a joke, but you know, it would really take away from the GTA feel. It would pretty much be perks in the game, and I wouldn't really want that. I mean, being able to slow down time in multiplayer as well, it would affect pretty much everyone, wouldn't it? And it wouldn't be too good. Obviously there would be ways around it, but it affects the gameplay too much for it to be worth it. So yeah. Another thing I'd like to point out before we carry on with this article, people were saying how GTA Online, there's a rumour, massive rumour going around on N4G especially, that petrol is going to be in GTA. Like, you're going to have to refuel your cars. And I call bullcrap straight away, because I was watching GTA 5 o'clock about a week or two ago, and Leslie Benzies confirmed that it was too much of a game changer for it to be worth it. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to do that. If they had it in, I wouldn't mind, but I would much prefer not to run out of petrol, because it's just one of those things that you don't really want to do. It's just not really fun having to go, oh, I've run out of petrol. It does add a gameplay element. You know, you could be in a chase and you're trying to get away from the police after robbing a bank and your car breaks down. But it just changes it too much when you're supposed to be exploring this massive open world and you just lose your car at the side of the road because you've run out of petrol. Unless I can walk to the petrol station and there's a lot of them, then I don't want it. It's been confirmed that it's not going to happen, but that doesn't mean it's not going to happen in the future. I know I have to keep saying this over and over again, but I have to make it clear that things change in games, especially in a game like GTA Online. They're going to add so much to this game, it's going to be incredible. What else have we got on the list? So there's obviously the hundreds of missions, you can replay them. So it's good that you can replay them. I pretty much knew that you would be able to replay them. They said there was going to be 700 and you can play 500 all the time. So I'm guessing maybe 200 are made specifically to be played once. I'm thinking that, but don't take my word for it. Maybe it's just some of them are only possible at certain times and 500 are available all the time. So they have the creator tools coming out as well, so that will enable us to create our own missions. At first, very basic, but eventually, I think we'll get some very, very deep tools when it comes to creating your own missions. So you could pretty much trigger map events to happen. So say a vehicle drives into you, or maybe a vehicle drives across a road and crashes into someone and you have to run over and help. It's going to be really intensive tools to help make some incredible missions, and I can't wait to see what you guys do. I'll be trying a lot of them because I'm going to be playing a lot of this game. Now, just a warning to people that don't really like GTA, I don't know why you're watching this video anyway, but this channel is going to have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of GTA Online and GTA 5 videos, so if you don't like them, why are you watching this? And if you don't like them, you might as well go, because I'm going to be doing a lot of them. GTA is probably my favourite game series, and this, to me, right now, and I know I haven't played it, is the game of the generation, the best game ever made to me that I've ever seen. And I know that's a big thing to say, but it is looking to be incredibly true. That's a personal opinion, you don't have to agree with me, but it does everything that I want from a game so far, except, well, not as much as Little Big Planet, but enough to make me go, whoa! Okay, so each mission has a table of results. Not really English, but it has a table of results to say how accurate you were, how much, if you lost too much health, how much health you lost, and it'll give you maybe less money depending on what penalties you get. So say you do less damage than your friends, you'll get less money or something from the mission, that sort of thing. It's basically like the Ballad of Gay Tony. At the end of a mission, it would say if you would have 100% in a mission, 80%, whatever, depending on how many things you did wrong. So car damage, how many bullets you took, how much health you lost, possibly, just things like that. Pretty much, you can get a big gist of what I mean by just going on that. And obviously you can hire coordinators, snipers, drivers and more. So that is pretty cool, because I know you could hire people for heists, and I hope the AI is good. Rockstar's AI is usually fantastic. They have the next generation of freaking AI in the PS2 games. It was incredible. It's just this living and breathing world, even though it wasn't. It just seemed like it was, especially in GTA 4. I can't even tell if I've seen the same person twice at all. It's always different to me. My eyes can't pick it up. Even to this day, I swear I haven't seen the same person more than once. It's incredible, except story characters, obviously. But the AI, hopefully, you can use them out of heists. So hopefully, I can get a driver to just drop me off somewhere with my friends. Maybe I can get spies to follow certain players and so on, because maybe the spies are used to predict what time the banks close and which time the women go out. The workers, I said women or men go out to make sure it's clear, and then you can go in and get the money and so on from a bank. But that's all speculation, but we know we can use them for heists, and I'm thinking that they take a percentage like your friends will. You have to agree the percentages before you actually start the heist, so there's no setting a heist and running off with the money afterwards. So unless you say, do you want me to look after all the money and I'll take it to the bank and give you it out later, and then you could run off with the money. But why would you want to do that with friends, right? Maybe do it with random people, but not your friends. If you do it with your friends, you might lose a few. But GTA Online, wow. I managed to get about 25 minutes out of about 8, 9, 10 bullet points. But it just goes to show how much I'm excited for this game. I honestly can't wait. I'll be producing a lot of content for GTA, and honestly, it is looking to be the most incredible game I've ever played. Seriously, I can't wait. I'm more excited for GTA 5 right now than I am the next generation of consoles, and that's saying something, because wow, just it is incredible what's coming up next generation. But GTA Online is just that much higher to me right now. I can't wait to get my hands on it. We're so close to the release now, about 20 odd days, maybe 20 days when this video goes live. But very quickly, just wanted to say before I wrap it up, that this is basically a trial show. So I mentioned a bit at the start that this was a trial show and so on, but I didn't really explain what I meant. So if you've watched this all the way through and you enjoyed it, please make sure you do leave that like. If you leave that like, I will know that you enjoyed it. Leave a comment on your opinion on all of this. If you enjoyed it, say. If you didn't enjoy it, let me know. See what I can change. If you want more structure to the show, I mean, I've got a bit of a structure, not major structure to the show, segments I could possibly have and so on. And if you just plain don't like GTA Online, for some strange reason, then make sure to let me know about that as well. I'm really passionate towards GTA Online. I'm going to be doing a lot of content on it, so you might want to try and possibly like it. I mean, a lot of people I've noticed that say they don't like GTA, they don't like violence and shooting and guns and so on, but that, to be honest, that's only part of GTA to me. To GTA Online, just think of DayZ, but much more that you can do in the universe, and that's why I'm loving it. It is the game that I've waited for so long. You know, been playing SAMP for a while, but SAMP has led me to the excitement of this. You know, it's incredible just how far, you know, it's pretty much SAMP, but the next generation of it, without as many players, because it's not a PC MMO and whatever. But I can't wait. I honestly can't wait. So it's on trial. If many people don't like it, then I'm not going to do many of them. If many people like it, I'll do more of them towards the release of GTA 5 and GTA Online. Don't forget that the release of GTA 5 does not mean the release of GTA Online. And don't forget that once GTA Online is released, it's not the end of what's going to be added. So I can't wait for GTA Online. I'm going to be trying to push to the front of the pack, ready for GTA Online, because I'm going to be producing a lot of content for this. Anyway, your opinions matter, so make sure to leave them below. I thank you very much for watching this, and hopefully you enjoyed. If I missed anything, you can always have a go at me in the comments, and I'll make sure to mention it next time, if there is a next time. So, I am BlackPanthaa, and Theo, if you're the same person, it's just different names. And hopefully you enjoyed this talk about GTA Online. I will see you in the next video, guys. Peace.
Yo, yes sir. Turn everything up to the drums, you know, the music. Holla back, I'm going for it now. Holla back, yes sir.